Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going deep, really deep, into a story that's fascinated people for centuries.
A story that feels, well, incredibly relevant even today.
Exactly. We're talking about the Tower of Babel.
From the book of Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis. And we'll explore why those people tried to build a tower to heaven.
What happened when it all went wrong?
And most importantly, what it all means for us today, thousands of years later.
It really does make you think, doesn't it?
Hmm,
About human nature, about ambition.
it does.
You-
Okay, so to get us all on the same page, let's start with the story itself. Genesis tells us that after the Great Flood, everyone on Earth spoke the same language.
Right, just one language for everyone.
Imagine that. So they journeyed east and settled in a place called Shinar. And there, they decided to build a city.
With a tower.
Yes, a tower, but not just any tower. This tower, they believed, would reach all the way to heaven.
Ambitious, to say the least. Talk about making a statement.
Right. It really shows you something about human desire, that urge to leave your mark on the world.
Absolutely. They wanted to make a name for themselves, to be
Yeah.
remembered forever. Plus, they were afraid of being scattered, spreading out too thin.
So they saw this tower as a way to stay together, to unify. But all that ambition, the fear, the single-mindedness, it almost feels like a setup for disaster. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, as you can probably guess, things didn't quite go according to plan. God saw what they were doing, saw their pride and ambition.
Right.
Well, God realized that if they actually managed to build this tower, they might start to think they could do anything.
Like nothing was impossible for them.
Exactly. So God decided to, let's just say, mix things up a bit.
How?
By confusing their languages. Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly you can't understand anyone around you, your friends, your family. It's all just gibberish.
Total chaos.
Absolutely. Chaos on a global scale. And of course, with everyone speaking different languages, they couldn't coordinate anymore. Construction on the tower stopped. And the city, well, it became known as Babel, a name that basically means confusion.
Wow. It's a powerful image, isn't it? The limits of human ambition. But here's where I think it gets really interesting. Genesis doesn't just tell the story of the tower, it also includes this detailed genealogy,
A family tree tracing the lineage from Shem, one of Noah's sons,
all the way down to Abram.
who we later know as Abraham.
Right, Abraham. And that detail, it might seem kind of random, but it's actually really important.
Because it connects the story of the tower, the story of human failure, to God's bigger plan.
And it suggests that even when humans mess up, even when their ambitions lead them astray, there's still a purpose, a divine purpose.
It makes you wonder about our own ambitions, doesn't it? How they fit into something much larger than ourselves.
It really does.
It's like looking in a mirror, isn't it? This whole story.
Totally. And not just for being humanity as a whole, but for us as individuals too. I mean, have you ever gotten so caught up in something, so focused on reaching a goal, that you kind of forgot about everything else?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think we've all been there. It's like that human drive to achieve something, to be recognized. It's
Yeah.
powerful.
It is. But the Tower of Babel is like this reminder to stop and think. Why are you doing this? What are your reasons?
Exactly. Are you trying to help others make the world a better place? Or is it all about you? Climbing your own personal tower to success.
Building your own little kingdom.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not about saying ambition is bad. It's about finding that balance between wanting to achieve great things and remembering that humility is important too.
So how do we take this ancient wisdom, this story about a tower and languages, and apply it to our lives today? I mean, the world right now, it's more connected than ever before, but it also feels so divided.
That's so true. And you have all this information flying around, but it's hard to know what's real, what's not. Plus, we're facing these huge global problems that they need everyone to work together.
Like climate change, poverty, you name it.
Right. And the Tower of Babel, it feels strangely relevant to all of that. Think about how misinformation spreads online, how divisive language creates these barriers between people. It's like we're building new towers, not out of bricks and mortar, but out of words and ideologies.
So how do we stop building those walls? How do we tear them down?
By being mindful, I think. By paying attention to the language we use, the stories we tell, even the information we choose to consume. Are you contributing to understanding and cooperation? Or are you adding another brick to the wall of division?
It's like a challenge, right? To be more discerning, to really think critically about what we see and hear.
Absolutely. And to be willing to talk to people who think differently than us, build bridges instead of walls. Because diversity, different perspectives, that's where progress comes from.
So it's about embracing all that richness, the complexity of being human, just like how those people scattered from Babel, ended up creating so many different cultures and languages.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot between unity and diversity,
Hmm.
celebrating our differences, but remembering that we're all connected.
Okay, so what does all of this look like in our daily lives? How do we actually put these lessons into practice?
Start small. Make a conscious effort to listen to someone who sees the world differently than you do, or reach out to someone from a different background. It's about being curious, open to learning.
So cultivating empathy, understanding.
Exactly. And remembering that even though we might speak different languages, literally or figuratively, we're all part of something bigger. Like those builders of Babel, we're all connected, even when our ambitions pull us apart.
And just like the people who came after those builders who went on to create this incredible tapestry of cultures, we have the potential to build something amazing too. A future where our differences make us stronger, not weaker.
It's a hopeful thought, isn't it? That the story of Babel isn't just a warning, but also a testament to human resilience, to our ability to adapt, to create something new out of the pieces.
We're good at that, humans. You know, I've been thinking about something else too, this whole idea of human power or maybe the limits of it. I mean, it feels like the Tower of Babel was about more than just ambition. It was about control, this belief that we could achieve anything if we just tried hard enough.
Yeah, it's like we forget sometimes that we're not all powerful, that there are forces beyond our control, and our plans, well, they don't always work out the way we expect them to.
Which can be honestly kind of a relief, you know?
Right. It takes the pressure off. It allows you to let go of that need to control everything and just appreciate the mystery of it all, the uncertainty.
To surrender to something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
Whether that's, I don't know, God, nature, or just the fact that we're all interconnected.
It's about trusting that there's a bigger picture, even if we can't always see it. It is, isn't it? It's freeing. And maybe, just maybe, that's one of the most important lessons we can take from the Tower of Babel. True wisdom isn't about building these massive structures to reach the heavens. It's about accepting that there are things we just don't know, things we can't control.
And finding a way to be okay with that.
Exactly.
That makes you think, you know, what if everyone on Earth suddenly started speaking the same language again? Would it solve all our problems? Or would we just find new ways to divide ourselves?
It's a tough question. It goes back to that whole thing about human nature, right? We're capable of such incredible things when we work together. But we also have this tendency to let our differences, our ambitions, tear us apart.
The Tower of Babel, it's like this timeless reminder of that struggle. And it's a story that speaks to us even today. It challenges us to really think about our motivations, to appreciate the value of diversity, and to strive for a unity that's based on, well, on something deeper than just shared language or goals.
A unity that's rooted in respect, in a shared sense of purpose, in working together for the common good.
Exactly. And I think that's a really powerful message to take away from this deep dive. The Tower of Babel, it's not just an ancient tale. It's a reflection of our own human journey. This search for meaning, for connection, for something bigger than ourselves.
It's a story that's still unfolding.
It is. And as you go about your day, think about the lessons we've talked about. How can you use your talents, your passions, to make a positive impact? How can you connect with people who are different from you? And how can you contribute to creating a world where, well, where unity and collaboration are more than just ideals?
Where they're a reality.
This deep dive into the Tower of Babel has been, I don't know about you, but I found it really eye-opening. It's amazing how much wisdom we can find in these ancient stories.
It is.
We've explored the dangers of unchecked ambition, the importance of embracing all those different perspectives, and that idea of thinking unity that's based on purpose, on respect.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Huh?
So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and remember, build bridges, not towers. Thanks for listening.